Yo, 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 yo. Happy Monday. What's up, guys? Welcome back to our live stream here on Twitch. I'm your humble host, Phantom Freak, aka Moist Master Flex. Back in it, back in it. Yeah, hope you guys had a good Monday and a good weekend. Good start to your week. What did I do this weekend? I played a show in Charlotte on Thursday. I was just hanging out in Charlotte with the man's disco on Thursday and Friday. Then I flew back Saturday morning because we had a show here in LA. I did an after hours. We did a Friendsgiving before with Chuck Shadow because it was his birthday, and then we just, they just normally do a Friendsgiving over there. Hung out with all the homies on Saturday, and then we did the after hours. We had Dance Party Time Machine for like his debut set in LA. We had Rabble. Then we had Jackpot from Denver, and then we had Chuck Shadow, basically our headliner. More gain on the mic again. I mean, it's showing that I'm like peaking right now. Maybe not. But all right. Yeah, it's weird. It like fluctuates. Yeah, and then I closed out the night on Saturday. Did a little impromptu back to back with Shosh from the UK, which was super dope. Got to play lots of, unreleased stuff and IDs and all that. See now you're clipping. Yeah, it's an odd little tightrope there with this gain. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, maybe I don't know. Maybe I guess just turn yours up. I don't know how else to help that. Yeah, because on my end it looks like I'm basically clipping. Anyways, any hoops. We got all these tunes here. We got Fade from the man's Tones and Verde Azul. We got The Rhythm from myself and Broshi on Bass House Music. We got Smooth Operator free download on Yosh. We got Hollow Freaks, our Halloween compilation. Just came out recently. We have Gothic from myself and Rhiannon Rose. Just came out on Friday. And also, we actually just announced today that we're doing a remix competition. The stems and the submission link are all available. You guys can check it out on my link tree. The rules are all on the submission link as well as on Instagram. If you guys go to my Instagram, you guys can see what the rules are. Basically, all the stems are there. No genre restrictions. You guys can make whatever the hell you want. The submissions are due on December the 1st, so about 2 weeks to work on a remix. We're going to select the winners. We don't know how many we're going to select yet, but probably quite a few. Winners will be selected on December 8th. And the compilation will be a official release on Byte This, which is Jaws' label, if you guys are familiar. Official release on Byte This, coming out on January 16th. So yeah, go ahead and just check out my Instagram for all the info. It's all there, and then all the stems and all that stuff is in my link tree. All right, and then we got Listen from the man's JR80 and Dutch Dennis that came out on Friday. I got a free download coming tomorrow, another free download with the man's Disco. Yo, what's up? And I just announced this today. Two Below has a single coming out on November 28th on Thick Freakness, so go pre-save that. That'll be coming soon. Lots of tunes, a little remix contest, lots of cool stuff. And then 2 shows I got coming up. So the first one going up to Seattle on December 6th with Rhiannon Rose. Joining our homies in Seattle, James Gatz and Grayson Rose. Opening for MPH, the legend MPH. And then on December 13th, we're back in LA, another after hours. I'm officially announcing this tomorrow, but you guys are getting like the first scoop. Show one. We're doing a collaboration with 3000 Bass. Yeah, it's gonna be another after hours. All 3000 Bass and Thick Freakness artists. So all these guys are signed to both labels. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Free with RSVP, and the music will definitely be thick. Lastly, here we got our sponsor, Eargasm. If you guys need earplugs for shows, go ahead and cop some. Eargasm.com. Use code Phantom10 for 10% off. All right. So if you guys have been here before, you guys know the deal. I take these first come, first serve, and how I receive them on the Google form. And yeah, doesn't look like we have a ton of submissions today, so this might be quick, unless we get some more people submitting. Right now we're only sitting at 5, so I don't think you guys really need to use the skips. But if you guys want to use a skip, you can either use your channel points or send money to the bottom left there. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, up to you. All right, we got Misguided up first, some drum and bass. We got Snake Bones after that with the UKG whip. We got Collective Unknown, 2 Lo-Fi after that, and then Arnold after that. Yeah, let's get started. Do. Damn, what a groover, man. That was super dope. Definitely has that liquidy vibe. Yeah, melodically, it's a very strong melodic idea. Just going through my notes here. I agree with Snakebones too. Very nice drum programming. Actually, I put that in my notes here too. Really nice intro. Love the ocean noises as ambiance. Also with the addition of this picture too. It's very kind of like all ties in together, which is really nice. Really solid melodic idea. Basically, just from start to finish. You have just a very strong melodic motif. Pretty simple, but very, very effective. Nice kick and snare combination. I did note here the kick snare lead in that goes before the drop. So basically your build section. That little bit, the kick snare combo is a little bit loud there, which kind of is, it's bound to happen because, you know, especially when you're layering a bunch of like kicks on top of each other, like 16 notes, you know, it's bound to get loud. So just something to be mindful of. Maybe you can play around with using a auto filter, just automate some stuff, or you can just automate some gain. Maybe shorten the length of those kicks. There's all these little sorts of techniques that you can do to kind of just finesse that a little bit better. But overall, really nice tension and energy in that build section. Regardless. Very solid drop. I think, you know, kind of your build up definitely like led us into a really, really solid drop. So that's very nice. Really love the liquid vibes, really nice drum programming. I did note here that the sub can probably hit a bit harder. So I would probably bump up that sub a couple of dB just so we can get some more low end, some thickness there. Very nice layers. Very nice variations. I think the layers were very nice. It kind of just continually was building on itself. So very nice momentum. I did note here also those leads could probably use a touch of reverb, especially that kind of more like guitar sounding. Probably use a little bit more reverb on that, just so it can kind of give that vibe. Oh, your car tests have been drowning you in sub. Interesting. The car test is always a good test. So yeah, I'm just telling you from where I'm sitting, and I have the sub in the back of the room. It feels like it could be bumped up just a little bit. So maybe you just dialed it back a little bit too much. Maybe just bump it up a smidge. I feel like I get some more sub in there. And yeah, yes, the leads could definitely use a touch more reverb though. Oh, that could be it too. You know, it's always good to listen to your final mix master on multiple sets of, you know, just like outputs. You know, you could try in your headphones, you could try a car, you could try just like your regular studio monitors. It's always good to try it on a various amounts of outputs just so you can kind of get an overall idea. Sound ID reference. Nice. Really nice effects and transitions going in between sections, and then very solid arrangement. And then I like that the second drops kind of starts with that kind of guitar lead too. The reality is like I don't think you need a whole lot here. It's really just like that last like kind of like 5% of just like detail work, little mix stuff, little processing things, but overall the idea is fucking there. Yeah, this arrangement, I don't think you need to change anything about this arrangement. It's fucking solid. Yeah, just like little tweaks here and there with just like mixing stuff and processing, but that's really it. Everything else here is all dialed in. It's already sounding fantastic. Hell yeah. Good job, Misguided. Dope tune here. All right, let's keep going. We got the man Snakebones. Some UKG. All right. Let me add. I got one more submission here. Let me add this on to the end. Galaxy Tones. All right. Let's give this one a listen. Nice one, bruv. That's whack. Well, just submit a new link on the Google form, and I'll just replace what you have on here. I would definitely recommend paying for Artist Pro though, because especially if you're submitting to labels, it makes it really really easy to say if you like submit a track to a label and they don't listen to it for like 2-3 weeks plus, you can always just go in and replace the file if you need to, you know. It makes it really really easy. Anyways, I digress. This is dope. I really dig this idea, this vibe. Um, I'm gonna speak to that more in a little bit. But yeah, really dope idea. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of this kick though. It feels, I don't know. It feels like we need something a little bit more punchy, a little bit more, something with a little more knock to it. Maybe it's also the shape of the kick too. But yeah, just from a mixing standpoint, I think that if you probably replace the kick, it's probably gonna make this mix sound even cleaner. I think. I think I love a lot of the sound design and the sound selection here. I think all that's fantastic. I think, and then the motif, kind of like the call response stuff you got going on, a lot of the ear candy stuff you got going on is actually very, very solid. Really dope idea so far. Could obviously use some like a vocal hook of some sort, just to kind of drive the track a little bit more. But I think foundational wise, as an instrumental, it's a very strong idea. Um, I think, you know, obviously this is a whip, so the mix isn't completely dialed in, but I'm imagining that you're gonna get to that eventually. Um, and then I noted here I would definitely put more silence in before the drop because it feels like the drop kind of just rolls in from the buildup. Yeah, especially because that Reese has a lot of low end on it. So like right before the drop, you want to try and get rid of as much low end as possible so that once you get into that drop, you're gonna get like the full force of the low end in the sub. Um, so yeah, just something to be mindful of. You can play around with, obviously you can delete some stuff right before the drop, but you can also play around with a filter as well. Really easy stuff. Um, but yeah, overall very solid idea, especially as an instrumental. I say it's definitely worth developing out further, especially when you want to get into that second drop over there. Yeah, it sounds like you're already heading in a good direction with this. So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing on this. Hell yeah, brother. Good job, Snake Bones. Really dope idea so far. Hell yeah. All right, let me grab your tune to lo-fi, aka, I don't know if this is show enough. All right, yeah, no problem, man. Excuse me. Do we have Collective Unknown in the chat? Bum 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 bum. Collective Unknown is here. The queue is not closed. Go ahead and submit. We only have 5 tracks in here, or 4 tracks in here actually right now. Collective Unknown, 2 Lo-Fi, Arnold, and Galaxy Tones. Oh yeah, and then I was going to also address really quick before you get into your tune, Collective Unknown. I was gonna address the idea of, so you mentioned that money is tight, and it's difficult to pay for SoundCloud Pro. What I recommend to everybody is that you register as a business. Typically, I mean, you could if you have the money, definitely do a LLC. If you don't have the money, you don't necessarily need to. All you have to do is just get a sole proprietorship, which is substantially less. I don't think you even have to pay for that. But if you want, you can register as a business though in your respective state, and then fees apply for that. Um, I think it's different from state to state, but yeah, you can register as a business, and then when it comes to tax season, you can end up writing a bunch of this stuff off. So I end up basically writing off a lot of stuff that I pay for, music that I pay for, new equipment. If I pay for like photography, if I um, pay for travel, what have you. There's tons of stuff that you can end up writing off. Obviously, all very legal. That's kind of what it's kind of what the system's built for. Um, and then usually by the when it comes to tax season, you end up getting a refund on a lot of the stuff that you've already kind of paid money on. Um, but yeah, you can definitely yeah. That's actually the benefit of having an LLC is that it gives you more rights. Say if some shit hits the fan, it gives you some legal protections. But yeah, you can definitely do sole proprietorship. There's all sorts of business classes you can do. Sole proprietorship is obviously the most inexpensive, but LLC gives you the most protections. Which part? Basically, what I was getting at is like if a lot of the stuff that you're paying for your artist project is expensive, I would say register as a business because when it comes to tax season, um, you can write a bunch of stuff off, including, memberships to SoundCloud, memberships to I don't know, fucking DJ record pools, to all sorts of things, to travel, to equipment that you pay for, to music that you purchase. You can write off a ton of stuff, as long as you have a really good tax person, which is also a nice investment you should probably make too, because they're going to end up basically getting you a lot of money back. They're going to get you a lot of money back when it comes to tax season. That basically is just money left on the table if you don't, know what you're doing. So yeah, definitely if you can, I would recommend you guys try and just something to look into is register as a business, and then when it comes to tax season, you can write off a bunch of stuff, as a business expense. Chakra DMB. Is it an unreleased track? That's the most important thing. Yeah, that's also important too. The tax man's not gonna subsidize your hobby. It's definitely, you have to have some sort of business sense as well. Well, yes. Okay, Chakra DMB. So if it's already released, I would prefer if you sent me something that's more of a work in progress. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. All right. Enough jibber jabber here. Actually, I'm gonna go pee real quick, and then we can dive into Collective Unknowns tune. But yeah, just something for you guys to chew on there with the whole business and tax stuff, because it's definitely beneficial. I would suggest looking at some YouTube videos if you guys need like further information, but tons of people do it. It's not rocket science. right. Collective Unknown, you still here, my guy? Yes, sir. All right. Let's dive into this tune here. Nice one. Super dope tune. Very I would say it's very unique, almost avant-garde, especially from an arrangement standpoint. It doesn't have like a, very traditional arrangement, which is not a bad thing in the least bit. Um I think it makes a lot more sense when you listen to the whole track from like start to finish, how it kind of just like plays out. And I think it's really well done. Really interesting arrangement, but I think it works very, very well. Um, Avant-garde is the perfect word indeed. You can definitely still submit. Yeah, this is very unique track. Very cool. I love all the sound design stuff. A lot of the editing, a lot of like the fluttering, repeating stuff is really sick too. It doesn't get like loopy or boring or, any of that stuff. I think it's very unique, and I think it's not something that I'd ever really heard, you know, um, before, which is really cool. It's refreshing. I love the breakbeats in this intro. It's very nice. I'm a sucker for breakbeats. Really solid melodic idea, especially with like this interplay you got going on between like a pluck and some pads and the bass line. The bass line's very nice. Low end's very nice. Um, Really nice kind of flutter repeating stuff in the breakdown here. Um, I put here, I might play around with using a filter, like an auto filter, on that kind of repeating section, just to kind of get a hold of some of those dynamics. Um, and you can probably get away with like using an auto filter or a filter, just for some like really cool like effects and stuff too. It might be a cool idea to do that. Just a suggestion. Um, Really nice energy and tension in this build section. And then it leads into this very nice drop. When the drop came in, I was like completely kind of caught off guard because it was a little bit different from as far as like the drum programming and the pattern. It was a little bit different from the intro, but I think it was like it was a very nice kind of welcoming change up. The drop is fat, very nice. I love this vocal chop that you got going on. And I think it also surprised me when it came into the drop because I didn't really wasn't getting too much of a hint of it earlier on. But it was very nice. It was very welcome when it actually came in and on the drop. Very nice swing. I put here the intro feels sort of long, but after I listened to the entire track, it feels like it's necessary to have this intro be this kind of long and intricate. Um, because it leads into this very kind of epic drop. So I think having a kind of very long kind of build up and intro was very necessary. And the overall, like again, like I said, I think the arrangement is definitely not traditional, but I think it works very well for what you got going on here. Yeah, pretty much the only thing I got was just play around with some filtering on that repeater kind of build up section, just so you can kind of get a hold of the dynamics. Um, and yeah, you can play around with some effects there too. I think that would be fantastic. But everything here sounds very cohesive, very solid arrangement, very nice listening here. Good job, Collective Unknown. Dope tune here. Hell yeah, brother. All right. All right. We got four more here. Um, yeah, what was I saying? Chakra DMB, if you want to submit something else, you're welcome to. But I typically do not listen to already released music, just FY Izzle. FY Izzle. Preferably something unreleased and work in progress.
the set, nobody can do it better like Jonas. And the party be going all night, Jonas. And we raving into the sunlight, Jonas. Show some love to the selector, check, wreck the set, nobody can do it better like Jonas. And the party be going all night, Jonas. And we raving into the sunlight. Black bagging and toe tagging for the masses. Still raving even though I think I need glasses. Creating dope beats with lyrics that are classless. The way I make it look, I guess I should be teaching classes. Showing up, I'll wreck them shorties in them skin tights. Watching drop it down low, then be going all night. Moving with the crowd flow, show love and vibes right. Put your fucking hands up, the party goes to sunlight. Bagging and toe tagging for the masses. Still raving even though I think I need glasses. Creating dope beats with lyrics that are classless. The way I make it look, I guess I should be teaching classes. Showing up, I'll wreck them shorties in them skin tights. Watching drop it down low, then we going all night. Being with the crowd flow, show love and vibes right. Put your fucking hands up, the party goes to sunlight. Jonas, and the party be going all night. Jonas, and we raving into the sunlight. Jonas, and the party be going all night. Jonas, and we raving into the sunlight. Jonas, and the party be going all night. Jonas, and we raving into the sunlight. Jonas, and we raving into the sunlight. Jonas, and we raving into the sunlight.
Nice. Yeah, really dope sound design here. I really dig the vocal too. I think the vocal works really well for this style. And the kick snare is very solid here. Yeah, let me go to my notes here. Very nice pads in the intro. Very nice sub. The vocal is super dope, but I did notice, especially in the intro, that the timing is a bit off on that vocal. So I would recommend using a metronome to kind of just like warp the vocal and kind of just get it on rhythm and on time. There's a lot of parts where the vocal is on time, but there's some parts where it kind of falls off. So it's just a matter of kind of just dialing it in a little bit better. So it just kind of sits a little bit nicer on your beat. I'd also recommend using a dynamic EQ to get that vocal to kind of pop through the rest of the mix. Right now, it feels like it's fighting in the same space as like your low end and probably some of that other mid bass stuff. Yeah, kind of like in that lower mid range. So yeah, if you could use a dynamic EQ, I think that would help get that vocal to kind of pop through a little bit more. Very nice energy and tension in the build section. Really nice drop. I love the sound design and the bassline motif. I think it's really dope. A lot of really nice energy there. Solid kick snare. I put here that kind of halfway through this first portion of the drop, it feels like the sub falls out. Because we're still getting basically all the other elements. We're still getting kick snare. We're still getting the bass line. But it feels like the sub kind of just like falls out. And it doesn't come back in until around 2 minutes, 25 seconds is what I mentioned here. Let me see if I can find where it kind of falls out. So you hear basically everything. You hear the kick, you hear the snare, you hear the bass line, but that sub basically kind of just like fell out altogether. So we're getting a lot of like all this mid-range stuff, but not any. Well, we're getting low end from the kick, but we're not getting any sub. And then it comes back in about 24 seconds after this. It's still not there. Usually, when I marked it because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't like just tripping or something. But at 225 is when it comes back in. So, yeah, that's just something to kind of be mindful of there in that section. I think for the rest of the drops, there wasn't any issues with the sub. So it was just that portion right there. Really nice variations throughout the drop. Nice like change ups and turnarounds on, you know, the bass line and the mid bass. And then, yeah, really, really good use of that vocal in the drop as well. From an arrangement standpoint, it feels like you kind of are doing this like one drop, kind of like a build maybe right here. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to tell because it almost sounds like this is one long drop, then break build, and then into like another drop. But then this kind of feels like an outro as well. So the arrangement is a little bit iffy on my end. So yeah, I think that kind of needs to be dialed in because if this is another drop, I think you're putting too much filter on the drums. Which is why I said it kind of feels like an outro because it kind of feels like you're like tailing things off here. But if it's a drop, everything needs to kind of just be full force. It needs to be just like everything needs to be there. From the looks of it, it sounds like, you know, you got drop one. You could do like a break build right here, drop two, down into a break build section, then drop three outro. That's definitely something that you could do. But that's just a matter of kind of dialing in a lot of your elements and just kind of, you know, working on transitions and break build tension, push pull, that kind of stuff. But overall, like the foundation's all here. The idea is like super solid. Yeah, just like some main things is basically the vocal just needs to be kind of dialed in on time. And yeah, just kind of dial in the arrangement so it kind of just like feels a little bit more seamless and it kind of flows a little bit better. But yeah, again, super solid idea. I think it's definitely worth, you know, finishing up and developing out further. Yeah, really dope stuff. Good job, 2Lo-Fi. Hell yeah. Drum and bass. Show enough. All right. All right. Yeah, no problem, man. Do we have Arnold in the chat? Arnold in the chat. He is here. All right, let's give this one a listen.
The way you get love, I love the way you get late night up in my bed, saying, thinking that this is love, falling for me, falling for us, babe. I love your loving. I love the way you get. You always jump right in, saying, thinking that this is love, falling for me, falling for us, babe. I love the way you. This is love, falling for me, falling for us, babe. I love your loving. I love the way you get. You always jump right in, say you thinking that this is love, falling for me, falling for us, babe. I love the way you. I love the way you get. You always jump right in, say you thinking that this is love.
Nice. Very nice. Did your submission go through? Let's see. Are you Elliot Hubbard? Zasher. Is this you? Odious. Galaxy Tones. Okay, then you are here. Oh. Hi, Zeke. Are you Odious? I don't know who you are. IZYK01. Yeah, I don't think I got a submission from you. Odious. Oh, I did get one from you. Here we go. I must have just skipped it on accident. My apologies. Any hoops. Okay. Back to Arnold's tune here. Yeah, super dope tech house vibes. Yeah, really love the intro. Really solid melodic idea overall. Excellent sound selection. Especially the drums. I think the drums were very solid here. It all very much so worked together, especially in tandem with the bass line. So you definitely created a really solid groove here. Definitely what you want to hear from, this style of house music. I'm going to be very honest about this. I'd replace this vocal because it's extremely overused. I think it's good to use a vocal like this just for writing the track, but I think to finalize a track, I think you want to go for something a little bit more original. This vocal is extremely overused. I will say that. It's obviously very recognizable. It's been used a lot, but I would definitely replace it for something a little bit more original. Yeah. Very solid arrangement, although I might put a little bit more of I might increase the first drop a little bit more. It feels a little bit short in my opinion, and then I might also lengthen out the second break build section. It's a little bit short. It feels just very like boom, 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 like you're kind of just rushing to get through it, which for tech house kind of feels like it's a little uncharacteristic. You kind of want to let the groove breathe a little bit without it getting too loopy. So yeah, you can definitely lengthen out your drop sections as well as that second break build. You can basically get some more mileage out of there as long as you are keeping things interesting, adding in like new ear candy stuff, adding in some additional layers, some melodic layers. You can definitely keep the groove breathing out and riding out a little bit longer. That's kind of what tech house really does. Kind of keeps the grooves rolling for extended periods. But yeah, overall, very solid idea. But definitely, I would say replace the vocal and a little bit more length on the drops and break build sections. But I will say, I'm definitely hearing an improvement on your overall production, which is cool to hear that you've been kind of putting in more work in. So it definitely shows. Good job, Arnold. Hell yeah. All right. Do we got Galaxy Tones in the chat? Galaxy Tones, Isaac, Odious, and then Zasher. Galaxy Tones is here. All right. Let's do it. Nice. Yeah, dude, what a fucking vibe here. Really easy listening to. What's this title mean? Ephemer. And what language is that? Out of curiosity. Means fleeting. Yeah, I guess that kind of adds to the whole, because it feels like this track like kind of tells a story. It's definitely like cinematic. I could definitely hear this in a movie. I think it's kind of your deal. It feels like a lot of the stuff that you submit ends up feeling like it could be in a movie, which is definitely high praise. That's definitely something that I would eventually like to get into. I've always been, I'm like a huge cinephile. I love movies, love films. And fun fact, one of my greatest, let's say, heroes, influences, or I guess a couple of them, tend to be composers. So, like, one of my favorites of all time is Ennio Morricone. He did a lot of the music for a lot of spaghetti westerns. If you're familiar with spaghetti westerns, he did a lot of that soundtracking. John Carpenter is also big. I'm a big fan of John Carpenter. He not only is he a horror movie director, but he's also a composer as well. But I digress. Yeah, this is fucking sick. I love this. It definitely sounds like it could be in a film. Just from start to finish, it's just like a really easy listening. You could definitely get lost in this. Beautiful song, Galaxy, and Dreamlet You Cooked. Yeah, I totally agree. Really nice way of starting the intro. Love the pads and the ambient sounds, like crickets and stuff like that. And then just like really, I think you did a really good job of kind of just like leading the listener into sections, basically just from start to finish, going from that intro into like that main section. It's technically not like a drop because this isn't like dance music, it's more ambient, kind of just like chill out vibey kind of music. And then going into that second sort of break and then into the second main section. Very nice all the way through. Love the piano melody you got going on. It's a nice addition, it's a nice layer to kind of lead this track. Very nice sub. Love the background vocals. Very nice, very good job on the reverb. So it definitely feels like everything's like in this like really, really nice space. Yeah, I can kind of feel that too. It definitely has a more kind of EDM sort of structure to it, which is really interesting. Very nice. Which also makes it really easy to follow along too. Very solid arrangement for sure. The guitar is nice. When it came in, yeah, it was a little bit unexpected, but it was like, yeah, this is fucking cool. It really fits the vibe and the idea. Yeah, and I put really easy to get lost in this track. Overall, I wouldn't change a thing on this. I think it's fantastic. Yeah. What do you end up doing with your music? I just out of curiosity. I mean, do you just like, do you self-release this stuff? Do you try and get your stuff synced for, TV shows or movies or anything like that? Because I feel like you would probably thrive in that space as far as like film and TV and maybe even commercial syncing. I think that would really kind of be up your alley. And apparently it's quite lucrative too. I think you can actually make a lot of money doing that. I myself, I haven't done it. It's kind of like a new kind of thing for me. I have some friends who do like dance music who end up doing a lot of that stuff on the side. Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, I would definitely, if you can, I would definitely look into getting sync licenses. I think there's also a bunch of sync libraries too that you can submit your music to, and then people could kind of pull it, and then you end up getting film credits from that. But yeah, definitely look into that. There's also tons of YouTube videos That can kind of get you into that kind of world. I don't know too much about it myself, but I know there's, you know, the reality is like YouTube has like a fucking video for everything. So, no, Daddy JP, you can still submit. I'm still kind of rolling through here. All right. Up next we got Isaac. Isaac, are you here in the chat? Isaac is here. All right, let's do this. Let's tune a listen. Right. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, that's a really cool idea. It definitely still sounds like a whip work in progress. It kind of needs a little bit of work here. But I think fundamentally the idea is all there. Let me see what I put on my notes here. Very nice intro. Um, I do think that the intro is a little bit long, so you kind of just like, in a way, I think you can kind of trim the fat in that intro, um, and kind of just like get into the main idea a little bit quicker, because you have like this pretty long intro section right here, and then this almost feels like a first drop, but then it kind of like shifts over into another build, and then this is, I guess this is essentially is like your main idea. This is your main drop, but this almost feels like a drop too. So I feel like this whole intro section could be streamlined. It could kind of be dialed in a little bit better. You can kind of just like get to like the main idea a little bit quicker. Um, my recommendation would be to reference some of your favorite tech house artists and how they structure their arrangement on their tracks, just so you can kind of get an idea of their development, and then how they kind of build up tension, play around with energy and that kind of thing. Um, but the intro is nice. I think fundamentally the melodic idea is very strong. I love the chords. The vocal is very nice. Both vocals, because you kind of have like this kind of call response thing going on with like the little group of kids, and then like the other vocal kind of like speaking back and forth to each other. Um, Thanks, man. Appreciate that. I do think that the vocal could probably use some reverb though. Actually, fundamentally, I think a lot of your lead elements could use some reverb, because right now it sounds quite dry. To my tastes, I feel like if you add a little bit of reverb, you can get a little bit more depth and space out of those elements. I do also think that the vocal could probably come up in the mix a little bit more too, because it's kind of sitting underneath some of the other elements. So that's just something to kind of be mindful of there. I do dig the intro, but I feel like you can use some more tension and energy in the build section. Um, Primarily, what I'm speaking about is this section right here, going into that first drop. It kind of feels like there's a lot of just like empty space right here. So you're kind of building up some tension here, but then it kind of gets completely lost in this little portion right here. Uh, yeah, yeah, I think, again, the arrangement, I think this is kind of like the primary thing that needs to be worked on here, just to kind of get some more mileage. And I think that's ultimately going to help you in your mixing as well, if you can dial in the arrangement. I do like the drop though. I think it has a very solid groove, especially with that bass line. I think the bass line groove is super solid. I do like the kick. The clap could use a little bit more power. The clap kind of feels a little bit lackluster. So it could probably use some more power, maybe an additional layer. Um, but I do like the vocal. I think the vocal is a really nice hook, and it really drives this track very, very well. Hey, thanks for the sub, Young Confront. Um, Other than that, I think, yeah, once you dial in the arrangement, I would also say that the second drop needs a little bit more work too, because after about 8 or 16 bars, it starts to lose kind of energy momentum. It starts to fall a little bit flat. So I think, just something to be mindful of. Add in some additional layers, melodic layers, some ear candy stuff, just to kind of keep things interesting. But I think, again, I think fundamentally the melodic idea is very strong here. The vocal hook is very strong. The groove is very strong. Primarily what needs most work is the arrangement, and kind of just like transitions and playing around with energy and tension and that kind of thing. That's pretty much the main thing I got for you here. But I think fundamentally it's a very strong foundation and start for this idea. Sorry. All right. Good job, Isaac. Actually, that's not bad for just one day. I think, you know, just putting in one day's work in this is already sounding pretty good. So good job, Isaac. All right. Do we have Odious in the chat? Odious in the chat. Odious here. Okay, cool. Let me go. I have to go pee again. Excuse me, real quick, and then I will be right back. All right. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, Odious, let's do it.
Have you said your goodbyes?
God damn. I only have one word. Fucking nasty. I guess that's two words. One word, nasty. It's fucking nasty. Yeah, sound design on this is insane. The sub is very nice. Low end is very nice. I think the mix down is super clean too. You're definitely getting kick and snare in here. It's punching through the mix exactly how you want for this style. Dubstep, rhythm, that sort of thing. Yeah, obviously this is just a whip. I think you're definitely gonna have to go through and kind of develop it a little bit further, going into like a transition section, going into a second break build, into a second drop. But yeah, so far so fucking good. I think everything is already here that you need. Everything that you need for this track is primarily already here. It's just a matter of just developing it out further. And then probably getting a little bit more crazy and weird with your second drop. But yeah. Definitely nasty. This is a fucking dirty, nasty tune. Good job, Odious. Yeah, my only recommendation to you is just to keep developing this track. Get a second drop in there. boop, 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 boop. All right. It looks like a bunch of people are popping in. We only had 2 submissions left, but I guess we're doing a couple more. Bop, 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 bop. All right. We have Zasher up next in the chat. Daddy JP after that, Onacity after that, and then Y. I don't know who this is, but Y. Hunter? I guess that's you, Hunter Music. All right, Zasher is here. Let's do it. Nice. Short, sweet, to the point. Very streamlined arrangement. Groove is just fucking grooving here. I think you really did that sidechain and the kick and the sub, everything just like works really well. It's very clean. Super solid groove. The chat says here, dreamy track, love this. Saucy, Zasher is literally him. Need this on my USB. I know this guy. Is this MPH? Yeah, this is sick. Oh, okay. I'll wait a second. People keep messaging me, bro. trying to do label business while I'm trying to stream. Yo, I'm back. All right, yeah. The reality is this is a fucking banging tune. From the top here. Love the chords in the intro. The chords are very nice. I think melodically this is a very strong idea from start to finish. Really nice sidechain and groove. I love this vocal. I love the processing on the vocal. Very nice layering and reverb and delays and stuff, all that good stuff. Really nice build, really nice tension and energy, all that good stuff. The drop is nasty. I love the drop. I think you definitely did a good job of making sure everything fit together really well. There wasn't a whole lot of like overlap. The mix is very clean, so there's not stuff like just like running and bashing into each other. Everything's just like in its nice right place. And I think the sidechain helps a lot with that, but it's probably also some combination of just like knowing your samples and your sample selection and kind of just cleaning that stuff up. But I think it's a very, very well done drop. I put here, I love the sound design and all the little chops and layers, really nice drums. I put here the mid bass might be a slightly little bit detuned, but I also put that, take that with a grain of salt because that might also just be my subjective taste. If that's what you're going for, and the reality is the chat was like, hell yeah, I love this. If that's what you're going for, definitely stick with it. Again, that might just be my own subjective taste that the main mid bass is the main lead is a little bit too detuned, but up to you if you want to keep it that way. Sounds like people fucks with it. So, I did put here though that there's these little chords in the second break, that feel like they're a little bit out of key or dissonant. I timestamped it too at 128. Yeah, maybe not. Now that I'm listening to it again, maybe not. I don't know. It just feels like something's a little bit dissonant or off in that section. So maybe, yeah, I guess just take a look at that and make sure that it's just in key. If it's already in key, I say don't change anything. I think it's just the first time I listened through it, it sounded like it was a bit off. Like it might be out of key or dissonant, but I mean, maybe not. Maybe I'm just tripping. Really nice second build. Overall, just super solid arrangement from start to finish. And it sounds like the chat really loved it, honestly. And I think the vocal hook really makes a lot of this track. Besides the groove, the vocal hook definitely it's fire. Yeah, overall, really well done. Good job, Zasher. Hell yeah. Super dope tune. All right, Daddy JP. We got Daddy JP in the chat. No, I'm happy to help. It's my pleasure. All right. We got Daddy JP. Let's do it. Nice, dude. What a fucking banger. What does the chat say here? Ba, 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 ba. This lit, fucking dope, underground nightclub vibes so far. The only thing I'd say that could use a teeny more variation. I do agree with that. There's a lot of really nice layers in here, but it would be nice to have a little bit more variation, probably on that bass line. You do tend to kind of change it up at the very end of your baseline phrases, which is nice. It kind of keeps things a little bit fresh, but I think overall it might be good to kind of have a change in the motif every once in a while. Yeah, vocal turnarounds too. I think it was good that you kind of bring the vocal back in halfway through the drops, because I was definitely like fiending to get that vocal back in there. So I do think you did really well with that. Let me go to my notes here. Really cool drum intro. I think the drums, I really like these drums though. They're really like gritty. They're really just like banging, kind of like in your face. Really cool drum sample. Really cool drum selection. I really dig the lead. It sounds like a bunch of people really love that lead there, that mid bass lead. Yeah, it's really cool. Really dope vocal. I think the vocal works really well for this type of vibe. Kind of reminds me of. Oh man, if I had to compare it to anything, I would say like stuff that this ain't Bristol used to put out a lot. Kind of like maybe that like early Dirty Bird stuff. This ain't Bristol. Kind of just like really gritty, sort of like tech house, like bass house slash tech house, kind of in that same vein. Here, let me check if I got it. But yeah, I really love what you're doing here. I think it's really fucking cool. It's very unique because you don't hear a whole lot of this stuff. And if you do, I'm probably not listening to it. I'm probably not finding it. Not a bad thing. I think it's just very unique. I love the energy in the drop. I do think, yeah, it does have some nice phrasing overall, but yes, we could use some more variations, I believe. Just as we get further and further into the arrangement with that mid bass. Great layers and ear candy. I put here, glad you brought the vocal back into the arrangement, especially in the drops. But I do agree, we could probably use some more vocal turnarounds. And I put here, I agree, the mix sounds great. I put here that I think you should probably pull out more sub from your breaks, especially from that because just from an arrangement standpoint, when you pull out that sub in the break sections, it's gonna make the drop hit even harder. Because you can just look at this waveform, and it does get a bit sausagey, in my opinion. A bit sausagey here. And I think, just looking at the waveform, you could definitely probably get rid of a little bit of sub in these break sections, so that once you bring the sub in full force at the drops, it'll just fucking punch you in the face, and it'll hit just that much harder. And I don't think you need to take out a ton. I don't think you need to like freaking castrate the sub. You just need to pull out enough so that it becomes very kind of apparent. You can kind of feel it in your body, in your bones, that when that sub hits, it fucking just like smacks you in the face. I think, yeah, that would be an excellent idea, and it would help with the energy and the arrangement overall. All right. Good job, Daddy JP. Excellent tune. Digging the vibes. All right. Do we got Onacity? Oh yes, I did get a tip. Dundee, did you submit a tune? Dundee the Griffin. Okay, you did submit a tune. And you used the skip, so we will do your tune next. Onacity, you'll be next after that. Then Hunter, and then Zebra. All right. Nice. Yeah, this is sick. I mean, I don't really hear a whole lot of like kind of symphony based EDM, but I think it's a really cool idea. Especially for people that have, that affinity for like symphony, kind of more classical kind of stuff, and like a love for like EDM. I feel like there would be enough people that have that kind of overlap in that Venn diagram there. But yeah, this is a really dope tribute. Obviously, this is a fucking classic song. And I think the way you kind of just implemented a lot of these different instruments as layers, basically just like reimagined kind of an already kind of classic and really like just well written Avicii tune, and just reimagined it as like a orchestra, which is really dope. I think it's a really unique and interesting idea. I've never really heard anybody doing this before, and I think it's a really cool lane to kind of go through. Um, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, yeah. From I think it's a really cool idea, and I think it's something that you should definitely kind of lean into and play around with more. Um, yeah, I feel like you could basically write a full kind of tribute album if you really wanted to, because Avicii has such a very notable kind of discography that I feel like it would be pretty easy to write a lot of stuff kind of in this style, in this genre that you're doing. So really, I mean, as far as feedback on this specifically, I really don't have any. I think it sounds fantastic. Um, from start to finish, I think it's a really unique and kind of um, cool reimagining. And I think you could definitely, like I said, you could definitely write a full album. Um, just from Avicii's, discography. And I think people would really fuck with it. So yeah, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. All right. Yeah, no problem, man. Onacity. Onacity, Hunter, Zebra, and then Tyler Renee. Onacity is here. All right.
Yeah. Don't let him talk. You want a real old timer? Yeah. Don't let him talk. Yeah. Finding a lost mine. Yeah. Turn left. There's one on the left. You want a real old timer? Go down and see Shorthorn Tom. Shorthorn Tom. Don't let him talk you into grub staking him. He's got a lot of crazy ideas about finding a lost mine. You want a real old timer? Yeah. Don't let him talk. Yeah. Finding a lost mine. Don't let him talk. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I jumped around a little bit. I was just curious about something. But yeah, it's super dope tune. Really love that vocal. I'm a big fan of using movie vocals, especially old time movie vocals. I think so. I think it works really well here, especially pre-drop, and then it really kind of pops through in the middle of the mix too. When you're in the middle of the drop section, I think it's very well mixed. Very nice hats, very nice snares. I think the drum selection here is very nice overall. Solid bassline groove. Overall, very solid arrangement. No issues there. Really nice tension in the build, and the pre-drop vocal is just lovely. It's fantastic. I love it. Drop is very nice. Very nice ear candy. I think you did a really good job with the ear candy here. Definitely helps keep it kind of fresh and interesting, adding in some nice variations. And then towards the end of that first drop, you add in like this nice kind of melodic layer, which kind of gives it almost a progressive house sort of vibe in a way. It's very melodic, which feels a little bit outside of tech house, but I don't think it's a bad thing in the least bit. I think it's kind of cool. Adds like another kind of just another dimension to this tune. Very nice second break here. Really nice development going in through it. Very nice tension in that. Energy kind of builds up very nicely, and then you do this kind of like fallout fake out drop, which is very nice as well. I actually really dig that. It adds another like layer and variation here. And then I also really dig the layers in the second drop. Overall, I didn't really hear anything that really popped out to me as like kind of just like glaring or just like, that needed to be adjusted or fixed massively. Probably the only thing I would suggest is with the hi-hats. The one thing that I did notice is the hi-hats are very consistently kind of just the same. And what I mean by that is like basically they don't really change throughout the track. So it kind of almost feels like just constant. So what I probably would play around with on those hats is I would probably, if you're in Ableton, what I would probably do is adjust the length of those hi-hats using the Beats mode. You know how you have like Beats, you have Complex Pro, when you're playing around with the, I guess it's like I guess it's like a volume fader. I don't know what it's actually called. But you're playing around with the warp settings. Yeah, the warp settings. That's what I mean. The warp settings on your samples, if you're in Ableton, I would say you go to Beats mode and you can basically just adjust it from left to right. The transient. Yes, the transient warp mode. And what I would do in your intro and your outro, I would basically just change the Beats warp mode down to like, you can go as far down as like 50, 40. Just play around with it because it'll basically shorten your transient. And I think that'll kind of get you a little bit more mileage on those hi-hats, because otherwise it kind of just sounds like it's constant the whole time. But if you play around with that transient mode, you're going to get a little bit of a shorter hat. And I think that'll be really good for the intro and outro. That way you can kind of go full force in the drop section. And yeah, it'll add like another kind of variation and layer in there. It's a very simple, very easy trick. Just a minor little detail thing, But yeah, overall, very solid idea. Dig the vocal. Lots of really cool ear candy. Good job, Unacity. Hell yeah, brother. Bomb, 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 bomb. All right. Do we got Hunter? Hunter in the chat. You could use multi-channels and adjust the channel delay too. Indeed, you could. Absolutely play around with that. Nice. Yeah, overall very solid melodic idea. I really love a lot of the chords. Chord progression is very nice. For sure. Very nice ambient intro. It almost feels like it's telling a story, like you're like first person point of view with the whole school thing, and then going out and you hear a lot of ocean sounds and that sort of thing. Yeah, it definitely feels like summer vibes. For sure. Very nice guitar. Love the chords. Very nice sample selection overall. I think you picked some very nice instruments to use here. Overall. Um, One thing that I will mention though is that I feel like the arrangement probably needs some work, only because it's not entirely clear. I mean, I think it's in a way it's kind of obvious where the drop sections are. Right here and right here. But the reason why I say that is because I wasn't getting a whole lot of sub in those kind of drop sections. So for me, it almost feels like just one very long build section, and it doesn't feel like I'm really getting a payoff, um, which is primarily signaled by having like a really kind of deep sub. So I think melodically everything is definitely there. I think just from an arrangement standpoint, it probably just needs to be dialed in a little bit better. Um, and I also think that it needs, yeah, it definitely needs a bass line. Um, but I also think you could use a hook as well to kind of just drive the main idea. Because, like I said, it feels like it's very like kind of feels like your first person point of view, and just like going throughout this kind of scenery. But it also kind of needs like a main kind of vocal idea to kind of just like drive that home. But definitely needs a bass line. A bass line is obvious. Bass line could also be used as a hook, and it's always better to have multiple hooks in a track: bass line hook, vocal hook, um, and then obviously some sort of lead. Sometimes your bass line could be also be your lead as well. But yeah, I think lots of really cool stuff here, especially on the sample selection. I think you did a really fantastic job on picking samples. So yeah, good job, Hunter. Hell yeah. All right. We got Zebra in the chat. Tyler Renee, and I don't know how to say that. Okay, Zebra's here. These are the last three. Not taking any more submissions. These are the last three.
I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. I'm in it 24 deep. I'm in it 24 deep, you got phone. bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Up in the bucket in the creek, living 24. Trucking through the deuce with a 40 in my mouth. 24.
Nice. Yeah, I've never heard the original of this, but I really dig the vocal. I think the vocal is really sick. Um, yeah, but I put here to start off, it feels like the vocal and melody rhythm feels a bit off. They don't feel like they're kind of just like sitting on time. Um, Maybe I was just kind of thrown off because there's not really something to latch onto in that this kind of break section because you said there's not an intro on this, so there's not really like something to kind of keep tempo. So I was kind of just doing it in my head, but it does feel like the vocal kind of falls off slightly. Yeah, just something to be mindful of because yeah, I would. My presumption, what it feels like's going on, is that the last word in that vocal phrase feels like it's dragging, and I think you kind of just need to warp that and pull that up a little bit. That's kind of what it feels like, and I think that might fix it. But again, I do like this vocal though. I think it really works really well. It's very clean. It cuts through the mix. Very nice tension in this build. Very nice energy as well. The kick is fat. Definitely punches through. Really nice acid bass as your lead. I think it's a really cool idea to use the acid bass. I would probably boost up your sub a little bit more, just so we're getting a little bit more low end on that. But I do like the lead. I think the lead's at a very nice level. I might be a little bit more aggressive on the side chain though, only so that we get a little bit more pump. Yeah, especially with an acid bass. I feel like an acid bass definitely takes up a lot of room in the mix, but it wasn't too abrasive. I feel like if you get a little bit more aggressive with the sidechain, it'll definitely have it pump a little bit more. And that'll definitely add to the groove for sure. Overall, very solid arrangement. Yeah, and then obviously I would say slap an intro on this just so it's kind of just easier to mix in. But yeah, I think it's pretty much the only thing that really kind of stood out to me. Maybe just a more aggressive sidechain, and then that vocal kind of needs to be sitting on the rhythm a little bit better. And I think this track will be even better than it already is. You know, it's already like very high energy. Very like in your face. I think it's a really super cool idea. Good job, Zebra. Hell yeah. Okay, I need to go pee once more, but we got Tyler Renee up next, and whoever meantime vodka. I don't know how to say this name right there, but yeah, these will be up next. All right. It's eerie watching an empty room. Indeed. Do we have Tyler Renee? Tyler Renee and Ubi Carcia. Ubi Carcia. Tyler Renee, Ubi Carcia. Wumsky, did you submit something? Okay. Tyler Renee? Ubi Carcia. Okay, I'm glad I said it right. These are the last two submissions, by the way. I closed it after. Okay, cool. Tyler Renee. All right. Last two submissions. Let's do it.
I've been falling through the night again. White lights violate on my skin. If I don't wake up, that's fine, my friend. If I just wanted you to lie again. Call me when the stars are bent. Call me when your heart don't mend. I don't need I pretend I'm falling through the night. I just wanted you hard lights violate on my skin. If I don't wake up, that's fine, my friend. I just wanted you to lie again. Call me when the stars are bent. Call me when your heart don't mend. I don't need nothing. I pretend your heart don't run. I just wanted you to lie again. Call me when your heart don't run. Call me when your heart don't run. I've been falling through the night again. White lights violate on my skin. If I don't wake up, that's fine, my friend. If I just wanted you to lie again. Call me when the stars are bent. Call me when your heart don't mend. I don't need nothing. I pretend I just wanted you to lie. I just wanted you to lie again. I pretend. Fuck.
The very end there. Fuck. No, this is super dope. I like the melodic idea. The chords are very nice, especially with the chord accompaniment along with the vocals. I think the vocals are very well processed. They sound great. I like the processing on them. Really cool kind of like lo-fi intro. It kind of has like kind of like old kind of feel to it, lo-fi sort of feel to it in the intro. Lots of reverb and space on your chords as well as the vocal. Overall, very nice songwriting. The only thing I was like really just itching for was just some sort of drum beat, section. Boom, ka, boom, 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 ka. I mean, if that's not the kind of vibe you're going for, I mean, that's all right. But it definitely felt like you could have gone away with some really nice drums in here. Just a nice little break beat. Boom, 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 ka, boom, ka, boom, 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 ka. Yeah, I think that would have been pretty nice. But again, overall, very nice chords, very nice melodic idea, very nice vocals. I like everything that you already have in here. I just think that it would have been a way better, way cooler if there was like a drum section. But again, if that's not what you're going for, then don't even listen to me. I'm actually closed on submissions, but yeah, I'm gonna be back again next week if you want to submit something next week. Yeah, no problem, man. All right, Ubi Garcia is gonna be the last submission tonight. Ubi Garcia, you still here? Ubi Garcia. All right, last one of the night. Let's do it.
It's up the lag and you know, I definitely have some crazy moves. Not very sexy and gorgeous, they're more goofy moves.
And do you prefer champagne or vodka?
Vodka.
Instagram or Snapchat?
Vodka.
Heels or flat?
Vodka.
What's your latest obsession?
Well, I don't know why, but very quickly what comes to my mind is a lot of vodka. Because I'm dealing with my son who's 8 months old and, you know, I'm always looking at new things, what he needs and what is really good and what's out there and reviewing things and reading articles about, like, you know, everything like vodka. Okay, and why that one is good and the other.
It's up the line, you know, I definitely have some crazy moves. Not very sexy and gorgeous, they're more goofy moves. And you prefer champagne or vodka?
Dude, that's a really fucking unique track. There's a lot of really cool stuff in here. A lot of really cool sampling you're doing here, especially with a lot of those vocals and stuff. I do recognize that melody though. The this definitely feels like Jersey Club. I will say that, especially with that 808 in the drop section. Yeah, but there's a lot of really cool stuff here. It does feel at times a little bit disjointed, only because it doesn't feel like there's like a main idea or main hook by Diplo. I kind of had a feeling it was like a Diplo kind of thing. But yeah, really nice Jersey Club vibe, like Jersey Club take on this. I think if you keep that main Diplo sort of hook and keep that going throughout the entire track, I think that's kind of the vibe you want to go for. But then in that case, it becomes like more of a remix than anything, as opposed to being like kind of like an original track. So I mean, it kind of just depends on which direction you want to head in. You could always make this a remix, but that would mean having to use that sample consistently through the entire track. Right now, again, like it feels a little bit disjointed because like this intro doesn't really match up with the drop, and then this drop doesn't really match up with the second drop. So we need some sort of main hook, main idea, main melody that kind of acts as a through thread and connects all these ideas together. So it feels like just one cohesive, coherent track, cohesive, coherent idea. And it definitely just gives you something to latch onto. But I do think there's a lot of really fucking cool stuff in here, especially a lot of those like vocals in there. Very random, but like really cool. Love the samples. Love the 808 in the first drop. I think if you want to make this one cohesive idea, also make sure that you're consistent and you keep like a very consistent baseline 808 idea. I love the breakbeats when they come in. Fucking sick. Really love those. I definitely think you could probably use those more, probably in the second drop. I put here the low end does get a little bit muddy in the first drop, and I think it's mostly when that vocal comes in. So I would probably just keep the vocal ideas to the break sections and let the beat kind of breathe on its own with the break beats and the 808 and all that other kind of stuff, the main melodic idea. But yeah, again, there's lots of like really cool stuff going on here. I would just make sure that you keep one consistent hook, melodic idea, and 808, and you kind of just keep that as a very nice through thread. But yeah, don't get a whole lot of Jersey Club in here. It's very refreshing to hear. Good job, Ubi Garcia. Hell yeah. All right, that's the last one of the night. I'm going to work on some stuff myself here before I go to bed. Thank you guys all for joining the stream, for sending in tunes. Remember, we have a remix competition going on Byte This. Follow me on my socials if you want more info on that. I will be back again next Monday. Oh, thanks for rating, guys, but I'm actually about to end the stream right now. Literally about to end the stream. I'm sorry. You literally caught me right when I was about to end. Yeah, you can find this. If you want to get more info on the remix competition, just go follow me on Instagram. I just made a post today about it. All the info is there. But yes, I will be back again next Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific here on Twitch. If you guys want to submit more tunes, if you guys need more info, go follow me on my socials. Go join the Discord. All the stuff and things are there. Hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your Monday night. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week. And I will see you guys next week.